Yo, welcome back to the Grady Podcast, talking about all things Grady. What you doing there, Walk?
I was just trying to capture a nice stereo image of the intro to the Dana White's Dirty Draws show.
Boo, 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 boo.
A.K.A. Throwing from the One, A.K.A. Grady Podcast.
Now coming to you in 3D.
And hopefully video for a whole episode.
Probably not, though.
But if we get a third of an episode of video like we did last time, we have 1, 2, 3 cameras. So that pretty much counts as a full episode. It is kind of overwhelming.
Are you going to edit that all in?
1, 2, 3 cameras. I'm going to try. I'm learning to do some video editing when I really haven't even been doing any audio editing on this podcast. So,
Good.
Yeah, we'll see. But we're going to try. We got the man Alex Wong, video DJ, up in the house.
Hello.
Hello, America.
Video screen's not on any of the cameras, I'm pretty sure, which is good since we're so monetized. I don't want to get our videos taken down. Yeah, the Patriots played their worst game of the season.
Worse than the Lions game?
In my opinion, yeah, because they didn't care, Jeremy. But we can get into that. The Seahawks played... I didn't watch, but better than expected against the Rams. I mean,
It was literally like a carbon copy of the last game, except we got the ball back this time and came up 25 yards short.
Yeah, so that happened. Jimmy Buckets got traded, which we may or may not have talked about already. I don't think so, actually. And yeah, there's some other little NBA drama stuff. The Celtics are playing pretty crappy. The Mariners are racist, apparently. Des tore his Achilles, which is awesome from a this show karma standpoint.
The Eagles suck.
The Eagles, well, there's a lot of sucky NFL teams, Jeremy. We could spend all day on that. I don't know, man. Let's get into it, though. Anyway, NFL, I guess. Do you want to start with crappy teams, or do you want to start with my crappy team?
Sure.
Okay.
Here's crappy 7-3 team.
So, obviously, they're not a crappy NFL team as we're watching.
They're finished.
Dallas, Philadelphia highlights currently, but like it's not okay. Jeremy, Jeff Howe, who I think is a Boston Globe football reporter, tweeted this week that was the Patriots' worst loss at this time of year. Their worst loss in November or after under Brady since 2000.
That makes sense.
That's not good.
Yeah.
They're usually, this is when they...
At the hands of Mike Vrabel.
So, the Vrabel thing...
He knows Brady's kryptonite, dude.
No, he does. And I actually think Vrabel
and Patricia.
Dean Pease, their defensive coordinator there in Tennessee, was the Patriots' DC at the time when Vrabel left in 2009, when Vrabel was shipped out of town, apparently. Not apparently. That's definitely what happened.
Allegedly.
No, he was for sure shipped out of town. I did hear a story this week, though, that apparently it might have been because of money thingies, because he became a player rep for the union, and he started talking about the revenue sharing and how it's not really fairly divided between the players and owners and the league and everything.
Wow, real original story.
But then he did an interview with, I don't remember who, but he did an interview in the parking lot at Gillette Stadium and did this whole thing looking around, talking about, yeah, man, I just look around here and see they're building all these malls with their money, and the mall doesn't count in the revenue, so we don't get paid out of this, blah, blah, blah. As soon as he starts talking about Patriot Place, he gets shipped away to Kansas City as a throw-in on the Castle deal.
Classic Patriots.
It really is, man. It really is. What did Deion Lewis say? That's what happens. You want to go cheap, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was a pretty good take.
He wasn't going to say anything, and then they asked him a couple more questions, and eventually it slipped out.
I don't blame him, honestly, at all.
Amari Cooper is great.
Amari Cooper, has he actually been making plays for the
I don't know.
The
He
boys?
has 80 yards both games. Actually, I think he had 40 and a touchdown this week. He's been fine. Better than he was with the Raiders the last 2 years.
let's talk about or get Dez out of the way, because that reminds me, Cowboys wide receivers who I don't really like.
I heart Dez throwing up the X.
So signs with the Saints after we spent all season talking about where he's eventually going to go. Pretty much everyone knew he was going to wind up with a contender, I feel like, at some point.
Or the Browns.
And I don't think it's surprising that he wound up with a contender, showed up a little fat, and immediately some stories started coming out about Dez needing to get in shape and Dez needing to work before he's ready to play. It was surprising that he tore his Achilles on the first day of practice and is done for the year.
On the last play of practice.
Yeah, so that's...
Should have practiced one less play, Sean.
It's unfortunate for Dez,
Checkmate.
obviously.
Is he done?
He's been done, but is he going to retire?
Yeah.
No. You think he's gonna leave any money on the table at this point?
I don't know. It's a long, grueling rehab process to get
It
back,
is.
and he's not gonna be making near the money that Dez thinks he's worthy off of that.
Well, but I feel like this year might have
He might not make it back for next season at this age, tearing it in November.
This year might have...
So then he's 33, coming off a torn Achilles, and hasn't done anything in a half decade.
But what was this? What was the Saints deal?
I don't know. I actually never heard.
It can't have been. I mean, it can't have been anything. I feel like
But
this...
at least he had a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
there.
this year, I just feel like this year must have reset his mindset. If he has a brain, which there is a question, but if he has any like reasonable mind in his head, then this year has to have told him, like, you're not... It's fine. You can think you are whatever you think you are, but the market is not there. He's not going to get that top dog money.
Yeah.
I mean...
So, yeah, exactly.
NFL teams
Does he
know.
bother to come back? I don't know if Dez is going to come back and play for, like, $2 million.
The pride thing is interesting, but I also do think that I think it could play both ways, because I could also see him coming in and wanting to pridefully prove that he wasn't, this shell of himself that was ultimately overrated, because he must know. I mean, he pays attention to the clips. He must know.
It's been like 5 years since people consider him good.
Well, and playing the last 5 years of his career where he should have been in his prime for much of it, and playing like that, it's like, that's how people are going to remember Dez for sure, if this is it.
Yeah.
That's how I'll remember him 100%. I mean, I never really loved the player, but at the end of his career, he was just flat out not worth the drama or the money.
Trash.
Yeah.
How about Earl Thomas?
What about...
Where's he going? That has too much to be determined.
Yeah, that's...
Probably somewhere that just got like pay him a bunch of money. Someone who has the room. I don't know. Maybe like the Jets.
The Jets. Yeah.
The Jets want everyone. They just take all the... They're going to sign Earl. They're going to sign Le'Veon.
They're just throwing poop at the wall, trying to figure it out. There's nothing else they can do. Don't really... Speaking of not having reasonable
They had
thoughts,
-7 points in fantasy against Matt Barkley.
Yeah, so
41 points.
Yeah, let's clear the AFC East shit show table real quick, actually, speaking of that, because I want to talk Nathan Peterman. We forgot to put that on the list.
He's cut.
The end of an era in Buffalo.
Yeah. I was bummed to see that notification. I was like, damn,
legitimately,
no more Peterman.
One of the worst quarterbacks I've ever watched in the NFL, if not the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's amazing that guy played as much as he did, and he only played, probably 10 games?
Yep.
I mean, and every single one of them, he was terrible.
Yep.
What was his best game?
The one where he threw no touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but his passer rating went up 10 points.
Yeah, so, like, what are some of those Nathan Peterman stats you were talking about beforehand? What was the Rodgers one? Rodgers could throw how many straight?
1,240 something and have the same touchdown to interception ratio as Peterman.
So 1,240 straight picks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of picks, Jeremy.
It is.
A lot of picks, dude.
1,240 to be exact.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, Peterman has 8 career games, 548 career yards, 3 tuds,
Ouch.
12 picks.
Ouch.
That's that's one of the worst career stat lines I think I've ever seen for an NFL quarterback. This guy wouldn't have made it a season as a backup in Cleveland in the late 2000s, I don't think.
Nope.
Anyway, that's sad. End of an era, and he was fun to make fun of. The Bills are still fun to make fun of.
Peterman.
Though they did have
41 points.
41 to what was the 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, so big victory for the Bills finally over the Jets, but
Bills Mafia rise. Smash some tables.
The Jets threw away the game and the Bills were up 31 whatever at halftime, 3, right?
Yeah.
It was a murdering when I first looked down.
A bludgeoning.
I was very angry at the time, so I took literally no happiness from that.
Classic walk, being upset.
No, Sunday was bad. I mean, okay, it might not. I might be slightly overreacting to the quality of their play, and I do think that Mike Vrabel, they got out coached in that game, and it was only 50% on them because the Titans coaching staff did do a really good job. They went right at Stephon Gilmore, who's way overrated and apparently can't cover big dudes because that's the guy Corey Davis, who has 1 touchdown ever, abused him for half the game.
Hey, Corey Davis has potential, dude.
They got all their running backs involved in the game and Mariota moving around because the Patriots have no linebackers. Whoa, excuse me. That burp brought to you by Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA. Mm-hmm.
Sponsor us.
At Deschutes Brewery, sponsor us.
Yep.
6-pack per.
Any local breweries out there in Bellingham, if you're listening to the podcast and you need any advertisement, you should sponsor the podcast.
At Boundary Bay Brewing, at Aslan Brewing, at who's on the succulent cam, Colshan Brewing, at
Wander
Brewing, at the one that's down on Cornwall by the it's right by Boundary Bay actually. Whatever. Anyway, that's a bit of inside B-ham right there. Sponsor us, brew pubs. What was I talking about when I burped? The Patriots on Sunday?
Yeah.
Their defense, they have no linebackers. The Titans exposed it. I mean, I think it was obvious in that game that Vrabel had inside knowledge of that team. Him and Dean Pease. I mean, just the Brady thing. They got in Brady's head really early in that game. I felt like he quit, and by the fourth quarter, I mean I heard after the game, some of the radio call, and Scott Zolak, the Patriots play-by-play guy, one of his color guy on the radio, one of his go-to things is saying warm up the buses and blowouts all the time. Almost every blowout, he'll bring it out in the fourth quarter. And in this game, he said warm up our buses, and I was saying the exact same thing, sitting here, would just pack everything up and forfeit in the fourth quarter because they were not playing hard, defensively, offensively, special teams. Brady's just chugging balls up there.
He's been doing that as of late.
He's been doing that for the last 3 years. Whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever he gets, but the thing is, it's whenever he gets frustrated or scared of pressure, he starts doing it. And in that game, it was literally after halfway through the first quarter, I felt like he was done. They took 3 sacks in the game. No, it was 2 sacks and 3 hits. And I felt like the defense was all over him all day. And the explanation for that is that he was throwing the ball, just chucking it out there, getting it out. And he missed so many throws. I mean, okay. This may not have been their worst team game. It was definitely Brady's worst game this season, I think.
I didn't watch it, too.
He just missed a lot of guys, man. And the coaching staff, too. Some of the stuff.
No thumbs up from Bill?
No, No thumbs up. And that's what Bill said after the game. We didn't do anything well today, and I totally agreed. It was, I mean, they got smoked. All sides of the ball. The Titans came out firing, and they look like a team with a bunch of former Patriots with chips on their shoulders, and the Patriots look like they got caught in a trap game and wanted to go home after the second quarter.
Malcolm Butler did it to you.
Malcolm Butler was on Chris Hogan for the whole game.
Locking him down.
Hidden from
Locking
Brady.
him down.
Well, yeah, locking Chris Hogan down. Congrats, he was. And apparently, Chris Hogan wasn't even that locked down. Brady just doesn't throw to him because he's going to chuck 12 randos up to Josh Gordon a game now.
Good. He's on my fantasy team. Him and Edelman still put in decent performances.
They did?
Yeah, good enough.
Well, they both got 12 targets, actually.
14 and 11 points, I think.
That's not okay, Jeremy.
Yeah, Diggs and Hopkins were on bye, so I went all Pats this week.
Diggs and Hopkins.
Fantasy update.
Fantasy update. No, that's enough fantasy. What about the Seahawks game against the Rams? It was the same as last year, which is to say that...
Not the same as last year. Same as week 5.
Oh, their first game was close like that too?
Yeah.
Oh.
You were watching that game at my house. That was the one where Jared Goff snuck it on like 4th and inches to not give the ball back to the Seahawks, and we lost 33-31.
I don't remember.
It was like the one game you've watched at my house all year, Walk.
They all the games I've watched at your house blur together.
That was the only one.
Exactly.
You're drunk.
No, I just don't remember.
Yeah, so this time we were down 35-31, and this time we did stop them, get the ball back with no timeouts in a minute 20. Got down to like the 25, and then Russell missed a throw while trying. He had Lockett open at like the 15, but he was on the run, and he had to get it up and over a guy and back down, and he overthrew it.
That's too bad, Jeremy.
It was frustrating, Walker.
Does that
So many tough games this year. We're 1-5 in one possession games this year.
So what's their overall record now?
4-5.
4-5. So they're in the wild card hunt.
Yeah, gotta beat the Packers on Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a big one.
And then beating the Panthers the next Sunday would also be very helpful.
Also would be a good one.
Because we play the Chiefs in week 16. Other than that, we play the Panthers and Packers next, and then we play the Vikings somewhere in there at home, and then we play the Chiefs at home in week 16. So I'm hoping they have nothing to play for. And then other than that, we just got Niners and Cardinals 3 times between the two of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, you are also going to have to probably... The thing is, it's a big old mess right there in that NFC wildcard hunt right now. So they're going to have to win all those and maybe still get lucky. They definitely have to beat the Packers and Panthers.
Well, if they win all those, we'd be 11-5.
Well, yeah, but that's what... So the Vikings are 5-3-1. The Packers are 4-4-1. The Falcons are 4-5. The Panthers are 6-3. Even the Cowboys and Eagles are 4-5. Like but
they're not.
They're not winning
suck.
out. Yeah, they're not winning out. But I mean, I'm saying
the Eagles play the Saints on Sunday, and then like Rams 2 weeks later.
My point is just that I don't think the Seahawks are going to win out either. My point is just that there's a lot of teams in the NFC right there in that pile of slop. So
yeah,
they're going to have to be good down the stretch if they want to make the playoffs.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if you only losing one game is pretty much a guarantee. But I don't think a 9-7 team is going to make the playoffs in the NFC this year. Maybe with all the tiebreakers. But I mean, we play the Panthers and the Packers in the next 2 weeks, so double damage.
Yeah. This is the make or break stretch for their season for sure.
And we're 0-2 so far.
Killing it. Yeah, it's fine though.
But the Chargers and the Rams, I think, are better than the Panthers and the Packers. And we've been at the goal line of winning both games, so.
I would agree with that. I was actually just going to comment on the fact that the Chargers have played one less game than the Patriots, but they're tied in the win column with them.
And the Chargers were coming off a bye that week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not feeling good about my team here, Jeremy. I feel like they're
I'm going to make a bold prediction and say they're going to win the division walk.
All right. Holy cow. We'll have to timestamp this one.
Put it down in the books.
I'll get that on the sounder.
Patriots are winning the AFC East.
Got it.
What's the Vegas odds on that?
I'll pull that later. I would say they're probably pretty good. Most likely. Are we watching like Rodney Mullen videos right now?
Sick.
This episode brought to you by Rodney Mullen and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4.
Sick. And
EA
Monster Energy.
Sports. And yeah, Monster Energy. Pay us. Brands.
Various brands.
Falcons Browns Thursday night football preview.
No, they played on Sunday. The Seahawks.
Oh, the Falcons.
Packers.
Oh yeah,
Thursday
that's
night
right. That's
football
right.
preview.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Jeremy. Oh yeah, the Falcons and Browns.
Nick Chubb
God, the
rushing
Falcons
for a
suck.
92-yard touchdown. Had 33.5 fantasy points, and I didn't start him. But it didn't matter.
Poor Jeremy didn't get all the fantasy points, even though he still won in his fantasy league.
I'm actually clinched for the playoffs officially. Sean Henry and Mark are battling it out for the last playoff spot. Me, Taha, and Jaylee are all.
you, Jeremy.
Me, Taha, and Jaylee are in there, clinched.
That's fucking sweet, dude.
Yep.
I'm really excited about that.
I'm gonna take it home this year, Walk. I've had the best team every year, and I've been shafted both years in the playoffs, but not this year.
I know we're all rooting for you, Jeremy.
I bet friend of the podcast, Alex Wong, isn't.
Hell no, I'm not.
Oh,
Dang.
Suck, Jeremy.
who are you rooting for, Wong?
No one.
Well, someone
That's bitter.
has to win, Wong.
I want to win.
You're not in the league, Wong.
Then fuck the league.
Oh, that's you can't really argue with that, Jeremy, unfortunately.
Fair.
You really
Fair.
can't argue with that. Lev Bell might be dead.
He is dead, confirmed.
Or he is not picking up the phone, at
He
least.
is not.
Deadline
I
passing.
like how he went to Pittsburgh like a week ago just to like fuck with people.
Wait, was a week ago or today the deadline?
Today was the deadline. But
Okay.
he left Miami and went to Pittsburgh like a week ago.
But he probably has a house there. Why does that have to be a sign that he's coming back to the team?
Well, I mean, because he had been in Miami the entire time.
Yeah, but he probably has a house in Pittsburgh.
And
I didn't take
he
that
tweeted about it, Walker.
as upside down, didn't he?
No, that was saying is he just tweeted by Miami exclamation points.
Whatever. That's
And then everyone replied
People-
and was like, stay in Miami.
people just want to get hyped up or get angry or whatever at him. Honestly, well, okay, so we should. I don't know if everybody knows, but today, Tuesday, the what is it of 12th, 14th, 13th of
13th.
13th of November is the deadline for him to return to play this year. So Lev Bell is officially out for season at this point.
Rip.
And it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Because he sucks.
Because he's a running back. Anyway, he's I don't know. We've beat this horse to death, dude. This story hasn't changed. He's not playing this year. He hasn't come back. He's leaving money on the table. He hurt himself next year. Blah 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 blah. What else do you have to say about it?
I think that James Conner's haircut is weird.
Yeah, and James Conner's haircut is also weird. We can definitely add that to the list.
Whack haircut.
Yeah, it is.
Straight whack.
Sports clips.
Makes me pretty uncomfortable.
He's definitely going to sports clips.
Is Lamar Jackson going to start this week?
Maybe.
This is
Joe
the first.
Flacco hurt his hip.
Oh, really?
They had a bye this week.
What an old dude.
Yeah. So Lamar Jackson could start. And I mean, the Ravens have lost 3 out of their last 4, I think.
Really?
Yeah, or 2 out of their last 3. They're 4-4 now after starting hot. So
Yeah.
there have been whispers in the bushes.
Yeah, they're third place right now in the
they're
AFC
4
North.
5.
4-5, yeah.
Trash.
3-game losing streak and
L's.
third place in the AFC North with the Browns only game and a half behind. Is that what that is?
Yep.
Yeah, so not looking great at
Baker
this point.
Mayfield woke up on Sunday
he?
feeling dangerous.
Wow, Jeremy. Rodney Mullen is spinning really fast on that one skateboard wheel.
That's pretty crazy walk.
I think this guy is good at skateboarding.
Nope.
Must be why he's on YouTube.
I am on YouTube. Look up CCMP Layer 2 security attacks.
Do it, dude. Link in description for sure. Do it. It's the best.
You're definitely going to forget to put the link in the description.
Don't worry about that. Watch this.
Yeah, let's get that up to
It says link Jervid.
let's get up to 500 likes on that video.
500 likes. We're at 475 now. Can we get 25 likes from our...
I'm at like 7
17
likes on that
listeners.
video walk.
I know.
One comment.
But hey, if you guys are trying to break into nodes on networks
Bzz.
to be zap into the mainframe and take people's data, what is it good for?
Mining.
So yeah, take people's data. Watch Jeremy's video, link in description. You're also on YouTube on this podcast, Jeremy. The last episode was a third video.
Yep.
This episode is
3 videos.
3/3,
1,
3 videos.
2,
3 videos.
Now you have to edit that in again.
Okay.
I'm going to keep doing that.
Hang on, let me timestamp this. Where are we, Jeremy? We are officially just before 28 minutes into this.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, we got the succulent cam rolling, hopefully. Oh no, it's still running. It's got battery up there.
What other football stuff is there, Walk?
There's the Pats are on a bye this week. What's gonna happen to the Seahawks on Thursday night at home?
Yep.
Okay, so they're gonna beat the Packers in an ugly game.
I don't think it'll be ugly.
Well,
Unless you're a Packers fan.
do you think it's gonna be that kind of game actually?
Dude, I mean, did you see our run stats from the Rams game?
I just don't think you're going to outscore Aaron Rodgers running, but I guess you almost outscored the Rams. So
We had almost 300 yards running on the Rams.
that's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, Russell Wilson had almost 100, so
He probably won't repeat that, but
probably not. It was by far the most he had run this season.
yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, man. Honestly,
We're a running football team, Walk.
they really are.
Ground and pound.
Old school football.
Rashad Penny went off, speaking of which.
Did he?
Yep.
I can respect that.
Like 110 yards and a touchdown. Looking real nice with it. And only on like 10 carries.
Sounds real nice with it, bud.
He was nice with it. It was good to see.
Do you want to take a break and then do our rest of our stuff?
Shirley Whirly.
Beep, boop, bop, beep. Hawks, bud.
Hawks Bud is my absolute favorite beer. I buy it every time I see it.
That's freaking sweet. We're back on Throwing from the One in 3D with
Beep boop.
1, 2, 3 cameras. Yeah.
Moth boys.
Got my official Seahawks Bud Light for episode 2 at Bud Light. Sponsor us.
Go Hawks.
Alex has a full sale glass. That's nice of you, Alex.
Well, you should.
That's brewed across the Columbia River from my house. Yeah, so basketball and a tiny bit of baseball in the second half of this one. Well, not really baseball so much as racism, but that's kind of goes
One and
hand
the
in hand with
same.
baseball. Yeah, honestly. I don't know. I mean, what basketball thing has been burning a hole in your britches this week? Jimmy Buckets? It's probably the biggest story singularly.
Yeah.
It's quite a trade, Jeremy.
Bro, speaking, before I forget, did you see Markelle Fultz's free throw
No.
from a couple nights ago?
No.
He literally got to the top of his motion, stopped, pulled back, and shot again. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
So you're saying he's still broke?
Yeah, you should Google it.
Okay, I'll look it up. I wish we could have video. Maybe someday once we have a streaming app.
Once we have our own video media platform,
Yeah, true.
once we're YouTube,
Once it's TFT2 tube.
TFT1 tube, TFT2 tube,
Um,
TFT3 tube.
Anyway, Jimmy Butler for Robert Covington, Dario Saric, Jared Bayless, and a second-round pick. What do you think of it?
I think they should have taken 4 first-round picks from the Rockets.
Yeah, idiots. That's what I'm saying. Oh, sorry, Jeremy. really don't want to hear these morons. Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't understand why you would want Covington and Saric at this point are both basically role-playing veterans.
They gotta fire Thibodeau.
Oh, wait, is he in charge of personnel?
Yeah.
Is he the president of basketball
Yeah.
ops? Oh no. Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of the other
Sold
offers,
everything on Jimmy Butler. Apparently the story was that like Thibodeau like talked the GM out of like all those trades earlier. He was like, no, I can work this out. And then like the GM like last weekend was just like, trade him for anything.
they didn't call any of those guys back. Like,
Hey, is that 4 first-round picks still on the table? We thought it over, and you know.
this Shams Charania report, which I actually know that name for NBA reporting, so probably means something.
I don't.
Shams. Anyway, Shamsy reported that the Rockets offered Eric Gordon, Nene, and 2 firsts. So you get like pretty comparable players, a little bit worse, a little bit older, 2 firsts as opposed to 1 second. And I mean, 2 firsts from the Rockets, not, I don't know. Who offered
The Rockets suck.
Who
so
offered the 4 firsts?
the Rockets earlier?
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. I mean, you have to take 4 firsts for that player. Are you kidding me?
What more do you want?
Yeah.
Trade anyone.
I don't know. Speaking of the Rockets and sucking, though, is the Melo Gonzo thing official?
No, they keep saying he's out with an illness, but everyone, Woj and stuff is reporting he's like already searching for other teams.
So Melo is officially getting kicked off the Rockets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not officially, but Melo's getting kicked off the Rockets, guys.
Yep.
Cool.
Hoodie Mellow. We go Mellow. We go Mellow.
Is that where you're doing the Game of Thrones theme?
No, that's
What
an
is that?
actual song.
There's a Melo song?
Yeah.
Okay. Melo sucks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Real bad now. But
he had 20 points one game, like 22 points.
on how many shots? Probably 25. I bet you.
I betcha.
He's yeah, I mean I haven't liked Melo as a player for like 5 years, I feel like.
Never liked Mello.
I mean, I've never liked Melo, but I'm saying I haven't like Melo's been a guy who I would in no situation want on my team for 5 years.
Same.
Like I thought the Rockets thing was
Ooh, Tracy McGrady says Carmelo should just retire.
he should just retire.
Probably should walk.
Well, okay, he in 10 games this year, he averaged 13.4 points and 5 rebounds. What's so bad about that? That's what
His
Grady would say.
defense.
If we called Grady tonight, that's what and we talked to him about Melo, that's what he would say. He's still getting you 13 points a game.
Highlights only.
And I would say Grady, he's shooting 40% from the field and 32% from 3, and Grady would say Kobe never shot high numbers from the field.
True.
Can you argue with that?
Classic Grady.
Shout out to Grady. Text me or Jeremy. We should probably call you again.
Grady. Ooh.
Grady went to a Spurs game.
I saw that.
It's pretty cool.
Sick.
I missed the Celtics Blazers game.
Sad.
Didn't we miss the Lakers one too? No, that's later.
Both of them.
Oh, we missed. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, good job, guys. I was trying to find Melo's game log, but there's too many stats on Basketball Reference, and I'm getting
used
overwhelmed.
A database, like a data set from Pro Basketball Reference from my analytics class.
And
LeBron's good.
LeBron is good.
Yep.
I can agree with that.
Those were my findings.
The Lakers are above 500, likely as a result of that.
Yep. Making a rally. LeBron said, quote, he almost snapped earlier in the season.
Now that they're 500, all is well in LeBron world.
I guess so.
Cool. Good for LeBron. Made it to 5, battled back to 500 in the West. 14 games in.
Oh, the Celtics walk.
Hey, man, they're over 500, so I'm almost going to snap. They have the same record as LeBron's Lakers.
And the Celtics are the 5 seed, and the Lakers are out of the playoffs.
Yep.
East.
Yep.
What are the Cavs at now?
The Cavs are 2-11. Oh, man. I wish.
LeBron's, like, war on the season is, like, 50.
Yeah, that's what did I say about the Cavs, Jeremy? That team sucks. They're so bad.
They would Vegas said they'd be favored like 24 points against Duke.
Oh no, I wouldn't take that bet.
Zion throwing down on Caleb.
I'd take Duke against the spread for sure. Are you kidding me? Jeremy, think about that. The Cavs, 2-11 versus 19-year-olds. That's tough, actually.
Zion.
Grown-ass men. I mean, Zion's pretty grown, I will say.
Large.
He is quite large. The Celtics are taking overtime to beat the Suns, who are legit maybe the worst team in the association so far.
Woo!
They
have
lost
DeAndre Ayton
to the Nugs. It's been a bad stretch recently. They lost to the Blazers 2 nights ago.
The Blazers have been good so far, but that's what the Blazers do.
Well, yeah, and you know, losing to the Blazers at home by 6 is whatever, it happens. But I mean, losing
L to the Pacers. L to the Nuggets.
But this is what I'm saying,
L
Jeremy.
to the Jazz.
So their last 5 is a loss to the Pacers, which they shouldn't be taking. A loss to the Nuggets, which good team, but don't let Jamal Murray drop 50 and don't lose to the Nuggets. Then they need overtime to beat the Suns, and they're down 20 in that game at one point, or 18 or whatever it was. Then the Jazz beat them, and then the Blazers beat them. So they're 1-4 in their last 5, and their win is the worst team in the league. So what does that say?
That they're better than the worst team in the league.
Yeah, we can confirm that, but I mean,
by 7 points in overtime.
They're not playing very well, Jeremy. They really aren't. This Raptors game on Friday on ESPN.
Murder.
Very interesting.
Slaughter.
I will be having to go to hockey. I'll hopefully get to see it. It starts at 4 Pacific. So.
What time's the hockey game, Lock?
7:45 p.m.
Tune into the WW Hockey channel.
WWU Hockey YouTube channel live stream. Boys are taking on University of Washington. Little high five matchup for you. Mm-hmm.
Rivalry.
Yep. Pac-8 conference play. battling it out for the
Dogs. I'm so conflicted on who to root for, Walker.
battling it out for the 5th seed, I think, in the conference.
I don't root against the purple and gold.
Well, I'm not gonna ask you to break any allegiances, but I'm picking the boys, to be honest. My boys.
Bold words.
The
You hear that, Jake
what Jake?
Browning?
Jake Browning, an avid listener of Throwing from the One. I thought
And
you're
member of the UW hockey team.
really little known fact. 2-sport athlete,
Definitely.
football and hockey.
Goalie.
You don't really hear about many football hockey crossovers. I can't think of a single one, actually. That's weird. That is really interesting, Jeremy,
Hockey's
now that I think of it.
The skills of hockey don't translate to the other sports as much as the skills of the
No,
other.
but they're still athletic. I mean, a lot of hockey players are really good baseball players.
I've never noticed that correlation.
Well, they don't necessarily end up in the MLB because they're mostly Canadian kids who grow up playing really good
Nerds.
travel hockey. But
Nerds.
that's the thing, is it's just such a I feel like it must be that most of the time if you're playing hockey, you're going to be dedicated to hockey, because it's like
It's on ice.
even getting there. Yeah, I mean, even to move takes quite a bit of work. Yeah, it really doesn't. It doesn't translate. It's like you want to just sit there with hammers and get giant forearms.
Ripped forearms.
Yeah. Or whatever. Hey, man, it works good, though. So, and other NBA drama, Draymond and KD got in a fight.
That was funny.
That's all I know. Is there video or something?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Oh, well, not of the fight after the game, but so they originally got in the fight because the Warriors got the ball back, got a rebound, tied with like 5 seconds left, and KD was clapping for the ball, and Draymond ignored him, went up the court, and got stripped, and they didn't get a shot off. And
Typical Draymond.
and KD was heated at the bench, and Draymond was standing his ground, and they were yelling at each other. And Boogie Cousins was coming in with his cool shades to be like, yo, I'm Boogie Cousins, chill out, dog. And then apparently it got more heated in the locker room after the game.
So KD is going to leave now
Yep,
because he hates the team, and there's
And
a lot of drama,
Draymond.
and he hates Draymond. Oh,
Yep.
Draymond's going to leave.
yep.
Is he a free agent?
After next season.
So
Are the Warriors dead?
are over?
Well,
Is it finally springtime?
after this year, maybe.
The sun will come up tomorrow?
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, darkness.
Okay.
Warriors are going to win the next 34 championships in a row.
That's twice as long as... That's a lot of championships.
It is. How do you feel about that for the podcast, Alex Wong?
I hate the Warriors.
That?
That is all.
Yeah, we hate the Warriors too, dude.
Boo,
Big time.
Warriors.
Full thumbs down on the Warriors,
Thumbs
Jeremy.
down, Warriors.
It's 1, 2, 3 thumbs down.
Yeah, 360 thumbs.
And I'm not going to timestamp that, so guaranteed I'm going to forget to edit it. But I don't think Katie is going to leave over one little beef with Draymond.
But I think he might leave anyway
He might.
to try and salvage his reputation.
Yeah, and it's not going to help if
And he's
things get
got
a little
his
sour.
titles and his MVPs.
Yeah.
He's got what he came there for.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a leech.
it's LeBron time for sure to go do something like cushy and big money with nice weather.
So KD did LA.
KD to LA.
That'd be fun.
Him and LeBron would be pretty legit. I don't think anyone would stop him,
Nah,
honestly.
except themselves.
They wouldn't even stop themselves.
The meme team.
They'd be so good. I do love the meme team aspect of this current Lakers squad.
It's pretty funny.
It's like
They were
too
like,
good
let's
to be
get all the
true.
biggest Instagram stars and put them in LA.
Slash like clown characters in the NBA. Like, who gets in the most fake fights? Get every single one of those guys.
Lance Stevenson,
Rondo.
also Rondo,
I love.
playoff Rondo, playoff Rondo.
You know, do you realize what could have been with him though?
He could have not hated Ray Allen, and vice versa.
So that's possible too. But what I was kind of talking about was like, imagine if he would have been a functional to average shooter.
Nah, can't.
No, exactly. But imagine, dude.
Just like Ben Simmons can't picture it. Not gonna happen.
No, but
Markelle Fultz not gonna happen.
legit though.
Cut him.
Rondo, I think Rondo would have been a perennial all-star still if he could shoot threes.
Sure.
Just not
It's a
even
big if walk.
but I'm saying not even well. Like if he could ever hit a three, just to the point where you had to put a hand up. But you like don't have to guard him out there. It's like guys playing like they play Dwight Howard with the 3-point line.
Sauce.
And it makes it harder to drive and get assists. Alex, what's going on with the hologram hieroglyphics here?
You're trying to hypnotize us?
There's a possibility.
Is it working?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Not sure either.
All right, we'll find out. Alex is trying to hypnotize us with
Friend of the podcast, Alex Wong.
friend of the podcast. Alex Wong is trying to hypnotize us. What's the deal with this Mariners thing, Jeremy?
One of our doctors who got fired a couple months ago posted and like did an interview saying that like Jerry DePoto, Scott Service, and like the president, whose name I can't remember, all made various racist remarks, and the Mariners came out yesterday and said none of it's true really, and like she never reported the thing she said she did to
What
HR.
what employee?
She was like the head of like training development, basically.
Some mid-level staffer.
No, the opposite. She was like the head like training program developer. She was like head of the Lakers analytics division previously. They had a whole press conference for her and everything.
Okay, I mean like a mid-level management staffer.
I mean, from what I understand, she was basically like the head of training and development, like from a health perspective.
Yeah, that's what I would consider a mid-level staffer. Like, no, they don't really get to make any decisions, but they're in charge of stuff. But anyway, that's not really relevant. A like administrative employee with the team. Is she? Wait, did she witness racism or it was directed against her?
Both.
Nice.
She said
Best of both worlds.
Service called Latin players dumb and lazy. She said Jerry DePoto called her a cocky Latina.
Who are these guys?
Scott Service is the manager. Jerry DePoto is the GM.
Oh, good. So like the two guys.
Yeah, and she said Scott Service said she couldn't like come into the meetings because she was a woman, and she said Jerry DePoto like would like punch whiteboards and stuff in front of her to like be scary.
I mean,
I don't know.
I believe all that stuff for sure because baseball and like Country Time Lemonade,
can't spell baseball without BS.
brown sugar bourbon, old white dude stuff for sure. But I forgot where I was going with that.
Racism.
Oh, did the statement, was it like a team denial or the guys denied it?
It was like, they said it was from the team, but they said it was with the approval of Scott and
Well,
Jerry.
I'm sure it was with their approval, but did the team, like, the team, they made no indication they're like going to look into it or anything. They just flat out came out and said,
I don't
nah.
know. I mean, that's what they said. They didn't say they were gonna do an investigation in their Twitter statement.
Usually, I feel like the teams in this situation, when they're going to come out and get right ahead of it. So unless there's like a backlash, they probably won't do anything about it.
Well, their president, whose name I can't remember, Seattle Times did an expose on him that a couple of female workers had like filed sexual harassment claims against him with HR, and he just like apologized and nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, sports, it totally...
This is why we haven't made the playoffs in 17 years.
I wouldn't say it's why, but I also...
Racism.
No, but I also...
Racist against the Mariners.
We joke, but I also do think that it could be, like, you know, indicative of a dysfunctional front office environment there, which I totally believe that they have. I mean, I'm sure they have. It's got to be dysfunctional in some way.
I mean, yeah. You haven't made the playoffs for 17 years in a row.
Yeah, like something has to be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if multiple things are wrong. And I wouldn't be surprised if...
Worse than the Browns.
I also really wouldn't be surprised if more comes of this. Maybe there's another Seattle Times story.
We literally just extended Jerry DiPoto and Scott Service like right before the All-Star break. Like literally right before we started sucking the rest of the year.
That's perfect. I mean, do you want to see both of them there long term? Does it matter?
I'm willing to give both of them another year.
Even if they're racists?
Two. Maybe not if they're like racists.
All right. Well,
especially if the players don't like them.
We'll find out. But yeah, I mean that's a real thing.
She said some stuff that like seemed like far-fetched though. Like she said like she introduced herself to Felix and Dee Gordon at spring training and they were eating French fries and she said like, "Hey, I'm whatever her name is and like my job is to like get you guys to stop eating fries." Basically, like made a joke, and Scott Service was like, she said he called her over and was like, "Who the fuck do you think you are making jokes?" He was like, "That's my job to make people laugh."
That doesn't seem far-fetched to me.
That seems a little far-fetched to me.
No, I can totally see a lot of big-time coaches have huge egos. And like, being like really controlling makes sense in that line of work. Again, working in baseball, there's a lot of old school dudes. I wouldn't be surprised if more comes of it. I wouldn't be surprised if nothing comes of it. Baseball, it could be a real thing though. Like you said, if it's like, what if it is a real thing and he's not connecting with the players as a result of it? Because baseball, locker rooms in baseball are legit, diverse on an international level. So
yeah, and then the Mariners had that clubhouse squabble at the end of the year, where details didn't fully emerge, but apparently Gene Seager and Dee Gordon were at the center of it.
Is Gordon not coming back?
No, he is. At least for now.
Aren't they losing one of their guys?
Well, Paxton, and they traded Zunino.
I thought there was somebody else who was leaving in free agency. Whatever.
Heredia left.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. It makes total sense. Bad teams. I mean, the Patriots have the most dysfunctional locker room of any team I've ever followed, so
murderers.
I don't know, but they
chaos, murdering.
Oh, this
drugs.
Is like from when the game was going on. What do you say, Jeremy?
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. Come on.
What?
Q R S T U V Z. Yeah.
That's it. Like us on Facebook at Throwing from the One.
Partycast.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Long Partycast
Like the
never
video.
dies.
Partycast forever.
Partycast.
Throwing from the One. Comment on Facebook as well. We out.
Partycast never dies.